Hi, my name is Taren Ober, and I'm a digital imaging specialist at the Library of Congress. I want to talk a little bit about using targets in everyday production. So what is the purpose of using targets? Well, there's no point in imaging our collections unless it's done right the first time. It's too much effort, too much money, and there's extra handling of the materials when they don't need to be. So what we can do is use different kinds of targets for different kinds of materials. There's a lot of stuff out there. Some of it is free, some of it costs money. There's a few different kinds. A few different transmissive ones are like this. These will measure anything from the performance of the actual device to the performance of each image taken. So we have some that are actually taken within each image and actually cut out for a master copy. We also have some that we produce every single day to measure the performance of the device over time. So some of the things that we look for in targets, there's some flutes that we look for resolution-wise. There's also color accuracy and white balance that we measure. So on things like these. There's even transmissive targets. There's a few different kinds. A lot of them obviously don't do color accuracy, but they are doing resolution. The way we measure them depends on what kind of software you have access to. A lot of the target software will come with targets that you have purchased. If you don't have access to these target softwares, you can also view them in Photoshop. You can bring them up. You can do a visual check on resolution. You can also take color values in Photoshop and measure them against your targets over time. The most important thing is just to make sure you have a target that you know how it's behaving over time. We even label our targets. We label them with numbers. We label them with what date we have acquired them. The next thing to remember is to store them properly. So a lot of the times these colors will fade. A lot of them will change colors. The whites, for instance, will yellow over time. The colors will just vary from environment. So make sure to store them in proper dark places. The best thing you could do with your measurements is keep track of them over time. So if you know the state of your target from the beginning of your process, then you'll know what it is doing over time. While you're handling these targets, make sure that you're only handling the edges. A lot of the colors on the target are actually really sensitive to hand oils and things like that. Also, make sure that you keep dust and other dirt off the targets. If you do happen to get any dust or anything on these targets, it will affect the resolution. A lot of the targets actually need to be placed fairly straight on your work surface as well. This will affect the resolution further down the road.